Welcome back to the Undrafted. Today we'll be continuing the series Top 10 Players of Each Position. Last time we did Top 10 Point Guards going into next season, and this video will be Top 10 Shooting Guards going into 2021. Before we get into it, like and subscribe, and let's get into the video. At number 10, I have Caris LeVert, who averaged 19 points per game last season on the Brooklyn Nets, as pretty much the main scoring option on the roster, with Kevin Durant being out and Kyrie being out most of the season. LeVert next season, he'll have a reduced role, obviously, but he'll get more efficient shots. He won't be the main scorer on the team. If he's playing with the bench, he'll have Spencer Dinwiddie. If he's playing with the starters, Kyrie, Kevin Durant, so he'll get more efficient shots, more smarter shots, being the third option next to Kyrie, KD, possibly fourth. Depends if Spencer Dinwiddie is feeling it that game. But I feel like LeVert will be the 10th best shooting guard next season. At number 9, I have CJ McCollum. He averaged 22 points per game last season on the Trailblazers, and next season I feel like he'll have a similar 22 points per game. But the thing why I put him at number 9 is because he's the second man to Damian Lillard, so he won't average 25 points per game, 28, something like that. But he's also pretty much just a scorer. He's not locking anybody up on the other end. He will take the last shot at times for the Trailblazers, but it's mostly Dame. Depends who's feeling it. But CJ is my 9th best player, best shooting guard next season. And at number 8, I have, this is gonna surprise some people, being ahead of CJ, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Oklahoma City Thunder. This is not biased, I just feel like Shai will have a bigger role than CJ next season, being the first option of the Oklahoma City Thunder team who's tanking. His numbers may be a little inflated just because losing team, number 1 option, not really many players to take shots away from him, which is why I have him as the number 8 spot. He averaged 19 points per game last season, playing with Dennis Schroeder, Chris Paul, Gallinari, all scorers who averaged 19, 18 plus, around there. And I feel like Shai next season, he'll have a close to all-star season. I don't know if he's making the all-star team as a guard in the West, but he'll average around 24, 25 points per game, and he'll have an incredible season next year. Maybe even move up more. We'll have to see. But at number 7, I have Zach LaVine. He averaged 26 points per game, also on a losing team. But he's still a great shooting guard, great scorer, number 1 option on his team right now. They're going to try to make a run in the playoffs. They have a better coach now, Billy Donovan. I don't like Billy Donovan at OKC, but we're going to have to see how he does with the Bulls. They got Kobe White still, all that. So if Zach LaVine can keep up the points per game and lead his team to the playoffs, then he has his number 7 spot secured. Number 6, I have Jaylen Brown. He averaged 20 points per game this year as the second option, sometimes third option if Kemba's feeling it. But Jaylen Brown has improved every single season. His efficiency has improved every single season. And I feel like next season won't be any different. He'll get that 20 points per game to maybe 22 points per game, or maybe stay at 20 points per game, but his efficiency will go up. All I know is Jaylen Brown will be improving next year and could possibly move up to number 4 or 5 next season, depending on how good of a season that he has and if he plays better than who I have at number 4 and 5. And at number 5, I have D'Angelo Russell. He averaged 23 points per game, being moved from Golden State to Minnesota. He averaged 23, which is not terrible, but just not as good as who I have at number 4. This season, he has a lot to prove that he could still play like that Brooklyn Nets leader that he was. And I feel like he will prove that he's a top 5 shooting guard in the league. His points per game may not go up, but his assists per game will go up. Being a 2 guard, sometimes playing the point guard position. Depends if they play Rubio point guard or play him off the bench. But I feel like D'Angelo Russell will be the shooting guard on the team, playing off ball, having Cat on the team, Rubio, all that. And at number 4, I have Donovan Mitchell, who averaged 24 points per game. And Donovan Mitchell isn't much of a regular season player. Like, he won't go crazy in the regular season, I've noticed. But in the playoffs, he goes stupid, obviously. But Donovan Mitchell, I'm expecting him to have a fire, getting eliminated from the first round, blowing the 3-1 lead. He looked pissed after Game 7. I will be too. But I feel like Donovan Mitchell will have an incredible season. 26 points per game, maybe. That's my guess. He is the only player on that team. They have Bojan Bogdanovic, who's a scorer. He's a great player. Joe Ingles is aging. Rudy Gobert won't give you 30. But Donovan Mitchell is one of their only scorers on that roster. Jordan Clarkson as well. At number 3, he could move up to number 2. At number 3, I have Bradley Beal, who averaged 30 points per game on a losing team. But now he has Russell Westbrook on his team, and I feel like his 30 points per game, I don't know if he'll average 30 points per game, but he will average around 27, 26, around there. But his defense will improve with a player like Russell Westbrook on the team, who takes the load away from Bradley Beal a little bit, and like motivation to actually start winning games. You know, Russell Westbrook brings energy, so he'll start playing defense. Bradley Beal, his efficiency will go up, and he could move up to number 2. But at number 2, I have Devin Booker, 27 points per game this season. And he adds Chris Paul to the roster as his point guard, replacing Ricky Rubio, which is a huge upgrade. And Devin Booker is still the best player on the team. But he has Chris Paul as a playmaker now, so Devin Booker doesn't have to be much of a playmaker as much as he was in the past. And they'll finally make the playoffs, first off. I feel like Devin Booker will start playing some defense, maybe. But Chris Paul last season was Shea. Shea made an incredible jump. They made the playoffs. So Devin Booker is better than Shea. So I feel like Devin Booker with Chris Paul, you know, can't go wrong. Number 1, I have, obviously, James Harden. 34 points per game. Don't know what team he'll be on next year, but no matter what team he'll be on, he'll still be James Harden, that all-star starter. Yeah, nothing really much to say about James Harden. He's been doing this for the last couple years, but maybe my prediction for him, if he stays in the Rockets, they got John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Christian Wood. I see him averaging around, well, you can't really count out James Harden. I feel like 29 to 30 points per game. Maybe more. We're going to have to see. And if he can up his defense and his off-ball movement, the Rockets may have a chance doing something. But besides that, that's my top 10 shooting guards going into next season. Let me know what you thought about the list in the comments below. And like and subscribe. Be ready for my next video, top 10 small forwards going into next season. And I have top 8 players who are set to break out next season coming out soon. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe. And I'm out.